Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Welcome, dear friends, to Satsang. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Today I'd like to start with a poem and a pointer within a poem. Relax, listen with an open heart. Just rest here. Bird song in the tree outside the window. The sound of the fan inside the room. The warmth from the heat of the day settles on the skin as a breeze enters through a window. The feel of the pen in the hand. Notices a pause between the thoughts and the end of the pause between the thoughts. The sun shining on a banana leaf and the sun rising behind the eyes as they close. The sweet taste of mango on the tongue and the bittersweet taste of medicinal herbs. When no other perception adds to reality, nor subtracts from reality, the gateway to liberation is open. Do you see where I'm pointing? The gateway to liberation, to freedom, to self-realization, to awakening is opened when you look between the dualities of pleasure and pain, of pleasant and unpleasant. When, while noticing with intensity what is here now, but leaving it all to be just as it is. No opinion, no comment, just as it is. When you do this, somehow the self shines through the duality of phenomena. This is why we're always asking ourselves, who am I? Or what is this? Or am I aware? Or pursue this inquiry, this question, in some form or another. So that we both notice the reality of here now and don't get entangled in the pleasantness or unpleasantness of whatever is rising, staying for a period of time, and then falling. We include everything, but are captured by nothing. When we slip between the tendencies of perception to define our experience, we come to see what supports all experience, all thought, all phenomena. This vast space of aware being, that which is here prior to whatever experience we're having. It doesn't diminish the experience we're having. It shows us the truth of experience, of thoughts, of tendencies. Allows us to look through and not get caught. So whatever's here in this moment, in any moment in your life, in your experience, in your perception, greet it with an open heart and a quiet mind. Very soon, you'll begin to slip between the experiences of positive and negative, right and wrong, good and bad. And of course, what you'll see is your own face, the truth of your own nature in every moment prior to perception. So I invite you to do that throughout your day. When you take up this kind of sadhana, this kind of practice, in the beginning, there's a natural resistance that goes on in the mind. The mind is so used to, through conditioning and habit, tracking the minutiae of experience in the waking state, that most of the time it doesn't even notice its own foundation, its own ground of being, as being consciousness. This is why we become lost in the experiences, in the details, if you will, of our day-to-day life. It's not that the details are unimportant. It's that there's something greater than the details of any given moment, which you can intuit when you are restful, open, and aware. And of course, there's only one reason to do this, as far as I'm concerned. Some of you are going to think it's enlightenment or self-realization. That might be a side benefit, if there is such a thing, beyond the concepts of enlightenment and self-realization. But the main thing is, by being able to see the truth of your own nature, you come to realize that you live a life of happiness. You have a life of happiness. Not in the objects around you or the people around you, though they can be quite nice as well, but rather as the heart of your own being, your own awareness. That within you, there's a deep well of happiness, which you hadn't even seen before. You were so busy looking at what's outside you. So hopefully this poem today, encourages you to enjoy whatever experiences you're having. And don't get caught in them. Keep inquiring. What is aware here? Am I aware? What is aware here now? This happiness that I'm speaking about, which is deep in your own heart, is available to you when you aren't caught by thoughts, emotions, and experiences. Notice the silence which is deep within you at this moment. It's already there. Waiting for you to have a look. All right, if you'd like to speak with me or say something, please raise your electronic hand. I have more than one screen open now, so you need to raise your electronic hand so I can see you on this first screen. Hello, Sandra.
Hello.
Hello.
I want to ask, sometimes when I get caught in the experience, I observe myself giving these opinions and criticizing and judging. And then because I'm observing myself doing that, I feel guilty.
Yeah.
But then I have this reward with myself because at least I observed it this time. Is there any recommendation you will give for this chain of getting caught and then being conscious of it, but then going into the criticism, the judgment, the opinions, the guiltiness, and then okay, at least I was aware of all of it. Yeah, to be more wise, to observe it beforehand. Yeah.
Well, the a nice thing about it is you're observing that whole chain. You can say, you're observing that from beginning to end, even if you're catching it at the end. One important practice of inquiry and self-awareness is to notice the end of things. Okay? So observing somewhere along that chain of events, that's a chain of habit, by the way, it's a chain of conditioning. It starts at one place and just out of habit, it just keeps tumbling all the way to the end of having felt guilty and so on. That's just a habit. It's a habit in the mind. So the first thing I would say to you is realize it's just a habit in the mind. It's not you. So don't identify with it. You can call it a habit in the mind. This gives you some distance on it, right? You step back from it a little bit. So this is helpful. Just don't identify with that whole chain of events as it unfolds. But you're absolutely right. You can stop it way short of that. The way that you stop it is that you said, I think, if I understood you, you said that you get caught and you notice you're caught. And then this whole series of events takes place. Was that right? Yes. So now, what I want you to do is to notice that you are back, that you were caught, but now you are back. And support yourself in realizing that you are back now. And it makes no difference how long you were gone. And it doesn't make any difference where in that chain of events you caught yourself. At the moment you realize, I was lost, I was caught, you are back. The habit that you have is that you don't catch yourself right there and say, oh, good, I'm back. The habit is to go into that dialogue that you talked about, of feeling lost, of feeling upset with yourself, of the judging mind. You see, this is just the way that the ego or the personal sense of self defends itself. It will defend itself by making you feel bad about yourself. So now that that's been pointed out to you, the next time that you notice that you're caught, realize in order to notice that I was caught, I am now back. I had to come back in order to notice that, and just cut the whole thing there. This will cut that habit at the root.
Thank you.
In a very short period of time, you'll be able to uproot that. And every time that that starts to happen for you, you'll just chop at it again. Because you'll be supporting yourself with the realization that every time you notice that you were caught, you are now back. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Okay, Diana, hello.
Vanakkam, Rishi, and Vanakkam, Sangha.
Vanakkam.
I want to report that I really loved your beginnings words, and I had a very big resonance on this heart, very, very deep resonance. And it it shows that it's always getting more and more just silent, it's getting just silent. It's not to react on anything or to think about anything or to whatever I could say to hear something or to whatever, something went into silence. And this is for me it is here just a sign of total Arunachala and Rishi and Ramana grace. And to stay here, to really stay, that silence is what it is. That silence is the only thing that truly is. And this is not questioned, and there's nothing done with it. It is clear that it's true. Very strange to say, but it is like this. It is just felt as true, and yeah, nothing to be done with it. And it is such a gift that Ramana brought me to the most beautiful place of this island, on top of a mountain, overseeing the ocean and everything, and enjoying everything, and inviting people to come and to be in silence. And it is like, also this is seen as silence, just silence. That's all I can say. The clouds are silenced, the wind is silenced, the ocean is silenced, the beings are silenced, silence. Yes, that's what I wanted to share. And that last satsang, you were talking with a lady, I think Nora, about open your eyes again. And this really clicked here, because very often eyes are closed. They're just closed to be. And so it started to open the eyes. And what happened is this, it becomes more and more this just seeing,
Yes.
being unseen. This is the sadhana here in the moment. Seeing all, being unseen with it. So, yes.
Very good. Very nice. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel your grace everywhere and all the time and everywhere, Rishi. This is the truth. And I know it is because of this, because of this. Yes, thank you.
Yes. You're very welcome.
And the beauty is, the more everything vanishes, the more the love opens to it, to to all. Yes.
Deep in the heart of being, when this begins to happen and you become stable in it, there is a moment of immediate recognition that all of this, the seeing, the hearing, the silence, the quiet, the beauty, is that. It is that deep resonance that in Vedanta we call Brahman. All of this is Brahman. In the Buddhist world, they say all of this is Nirvana. Nirvana and samsara are the same. In Zen, they say emptiness is form and form is emptiness. This is called the Heart Sutra. This is the recognition that all of this is that one deep recognition of silence that you point to. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Hello, Joy.
Hello.
Hello.
I wanted to share. Can you hear me right?
Yes.
I don't have no earphones.
No, it's fine. I can hear you fine.
Nice. I want to share that the longer I stay in I try to practice it like daily, all the spare time I have. Lately, I'm noticing that I start to care less about everything. Like, everything. Like, for being in public, or being in the gym, or thinking that people think things about me, or they don't like me, or all that kind of stuff that always was in my head. Now, I got a feeling that I'm more, not like guided, but things just happen. Like, it's like a natural flow that keeps expanding, like, bit by bit, but it's not like in a, that I can say it's in a linear way or in a process way, but I start to feel that everything is already being done. It's like taking, for example, in back in the passenger seat and just enjoy the ride, so to speak. And lately, I'm practicing also when emotions come up, because I'm a recovering drug user, so I like to flight and not deal with what is in front of me. So I like to run away from all my problems and all the emotions that come up, and use some drugs instead to numb it down. But now lately, from a Dutch advaita teacher, I had a satsang with him, and he said, just sit and watch. And he said, watch the emotions. And now I'm focusing on that, like, and the results sometimes are really stunning, because all my life, my modus in my head was, flight, go away, and that chaos. And now I'm sitting, and I'm even seeing in that moment that the like the, how do you call it, like the train of the emotion comes, and I'm just seeing it, and at the same time I'm seeing that there's also a silence in that, like, and then it goes away, and then it's like, oh, and it's like so weird that all my life I thought when I felt an emotion I was thinking like, run away. And now I'm trying to practice just sit and face it head on, and then not in a way like poof, but in a way like,
that's what I was going to say. Not like this, not like a fight, not like resistance, more like this, keep the heart open. And if the heart is open, what's coming at you will come through you, and as it comes through, you'll see it dissolve.
And that's really weird. All the solution was so simple, but simple and not simple, because it's like it's really hard to stay still when you're like in
simple but not easy. Simple but not easy.
Simple but not easy. And Yeah,
And you know, you will get better at that too, Joy. You will get better at that. That there's a strength that builds. You know, it's just like, you know, you talked about the gym, and I know that's been part of your recovery. And it's just like that, you know, the muscle of standing in something and observing it and facing it and not going into that fight or flight response. That's a muscle that gets strengthened by keeping quiet and staying in things and observing things and letting them flow through you, around you, and so on. That's great. That will strengthen in you as time goes on. Because you're really replacing one bad habit with a good habit.
Yeah.
The habit of running with the habit of staying.
Yeah, exactly. And oh yeah, and I was the one last remark. I was stunned by the power of that silence we had. Like I was sitting here and I didn't experience it in a long time. That when I like to practice with my eyes open, but also sometimes with my eyes closed. But now I realize, whoa, I can't keep my eyes closed all the time because I fall asleep. That's how powerful it was. I didn't experience that in a long time. And then I keep it open and focused on here. And I was like, ooh, it was really strong, what I felt. So thank you for that. And that was all in the silence. Yeah, that's so. A couple of years ago, if you asked me, there was so much power in silence. It's like, huh? Where are all the fireworks? Where is all the all the Hollywood shit? Sorry, stuff. And now I'm in the silence, experiencing instead of it's an experience. It's all different story. Yeah. So thank you for that, and everybody have a nice day. Yes.
Thank you, Joy, for sharing. Inara.
Namaskaram, Rishiji.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram.
This is my first encounter with you. A friend invited today, and I deeply resonate with what you have shared and others. And I would love to hear and know a bit more about you and about your personal path. How did you walk to where you are today?
Well, I'm going to just say that very briefly because you can go to YouTube to Still Mountain Satsang, and there's an interview that is there that is an hour-long answer to your question. But I don't have time for that here right now today. So I will just say, I started out just like you, with an interest. Something was interesting to me, something was calling me. So many years ago, I turned. I became a seeker. And then one day, all of that came to an end. So now, I'm just here to point the way for people like you who want to know who they are. Do you know that's the question you're asking? Who am I? Do you know that that's the question you're asking?
No, I didn't.
So what is it that brought you here? If that wasn't the question that brought you here, what brought you here? What's the curiosity for you?
There is time. when to be alone and enjoying in I am an observer state. And then there is time when I'd like to learn more or connect with collective process.
Yeah.
And also I believe everything is orchestrated perfectly, and if the invitation came, it's just a perfect moment to share this. And
Very good.
I'm excited.
Yeah, just keep going. I would really encourage you to ask yourself, what is it that I'm looking for? When we ask ourselves that question, what is it I want? We can often hear the gentle whisper of our own heart that says, I want to know the truth. I want to know who or what I am. And the reason I encourage you to ask yourself the question, what is it that I want, or what is it I'm looking for, is because this is the most direct path to understand our own seeking. If we don't ask this question, there can be a tendency, and many people here will verify this, to go around for years trying this, trying that, looking for this, looking for that, having this experience and that experience, following this teaching and that teaching, this teacher and that teacher, but never really asking ourselves, who am I and what am I looking for? So I just encourage you, while you're here, on your journey, that whatever journey has brought you here to this satsang tonight, whatever intuition caused you to come into the satsang tonight, just on the recommendation of a friend, which is very, very good. This is may not even be something that you as a personality are doing, but rather that your heart is pulling you in to the center of being, where it wants you to be. So it's pointing you in the right direction, pointing you in the way. But by asking yourself this question, who am I? What is it that I want? Am I looking for something? What is it I'm seeking? By having this kind of conversation with yourself, you come to know very quickly whether something you hear, see, read, really resonates with it, with the heart of being, which you are, with your own heart. And if it doesn't, you can discard it quickly, so you don't waste a lot of time with it. If you don't ask yourself the question, who am I, or what is it that I want out of this experience that we call life, we can become distracted across all kinds of different things, through all kinds of different things. And we can spend a lot of time looking in all the wrong places for the happiness that rests in our own heart. So I just encourage you.
What if I already asked and know that? What if I already asked and know who am I?
Very good. Now what? If you already know who you are, then just keep quiet. Know the silence and the love, the compassion and caring of your own heart. Rest in that. Remain as that. There's nothing else to do. I will ask you one question. What do you mean when you say I? What do you refer to?
All in one and one in all. All in one, one in all.
Remain as you are. Hello, Mary. Can you lower your camera just a little bit? I can just see the top of your head. There you go. Thank you.
Is it okay now?
Yes, well, come down a
Okay.
little more if you can. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Okay. I can't see myself, so I don't know what you're seeing. I have a question. Sometimes people shine, sometimes they don't shine. When I am not shining, I feel I am doing something wrong. Is there a way to not shine and be okay?
Tell me where this shine or shining comes from.
Um, when people are doing something and they feel this is what I should be doing, they shine. And sometimes they can't find what they should be doing. And they're kind of lost. And they don't shine. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
So by your description, it sounds as though you think, or your experience is that shining is related to the personality or to a state of mind that the personality is experiencing. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, all of us have the experience of someone saying to us on a day that we feel particularly good or we feel particularly open, "Oh, you are shining. You look wonderful." Or walking up to us on a day when we're not feeling so wonderful and saying, "What's the matter?" This is all related to the personality and the mood, you can say, in the mind at that moment, right? But if we look at the great masters, the great sages, the Buddhas, they tell us that the shining is eternal, unborn, ever present, not impacted or changed by personality or by circumstances. And that the experience of this shining or self-radiance might be a good word for it, that is experienced only on the level of personality, is subject to the conditions of the personality. But the reason that we ask the question, who am I? Am I aware? What is this I? And the reason we want to go back to the source of this I, and then to penetrate through it into Brahman, into the Supreme, is because what we find when we get there is that the self-radiance was already here. And that it is, in fact, according to to all descriptions, it is before this I am experience. And what's pointed to in scripture is that, and in the various teachings of the Eastern traditions, is that the reason that this self-radiance isn't experienced all the time is because of the conditioned state of the mind. So when I say conditioned state of the mind, understand that what I'm meaning is the mood of the mind. When the mind feels happy, self-radiance is seen. It doesn't come from somewhere else. It's not manufactured. When there's happiness, when the mind is happy, open, and feeling a sense of freedom, self-radiance from the heart just shines through. And so the natural question is, what blocks that from being there all the time? And it is this sense of mood, conditioning, personality, situations, circumstances, according to the judgments of the mind. This is the veiling quality. In Vedanta, it said this is the veiling quality of the mind. It possesses this ability, depending upon the conditions or circumstances of the personality at any given moment, to either reveal self-radiance or to veil it. So it's important to understand that you can make a slight adjustment in your perception, and you can have a big effect on the radiance of the self. This small adjustment is to come to the understanding that self-radiance is the prior condition.
It goes beyond.
Yeah, it's beyond the conditioned state of body and mind or personality or ego. So when there's the perception that self-radiance is here, that means the heart is open. And there may be some circumstances related to that, but it was the self-radiance that was there before the circumstances. The circumstances just allowed it to shine. And conversely, when self-radiance isn't there, it's just the circumstances. Some condition in the mind is veiling the ever-present self-radiance. So make that slight adjustment in your understanding, and then begin to live out of that recognition, so that even when you feel as though the self-radiance is not there, isn't present at that moment, know that not to be the truth. It is an experience that's happening, but it's based in the ego. It's based in conditioning. You know from that, because of that, that it simply isn't true. And I'm not saying that you are then avoiding this feeling of not being self-radiant at that moment. I'm saying that you realize that the experience of not being self-radiant at that moment is not the truth of who you are. The truth of who you are is beyond the experience of self-radiance or not self-radiance as it is experienced by the body-mind in any given moment. Self-radiance is the prior condition. So come to understand this, and you will come to live from that position.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much.
Very nice, very good. Very welcome. Good question, Mary. It is important for all of you to realize that what's always being pointed out to you here is that whenever you come to doubt your self-nature as being consciousness, bliss, Satchitananda, whenever that doubt creeps in, it's just a reminder to you to turn back toward the heart, back toward this self-radiance, what Bhagavan Ramana called the source. Turn back toward it. This is the simplest form and the most direct form of sadhana, the most direct path. Catch yourself whenever you are in a state of conditioning, whenever you are in a state of self-doubt, whenever you forget that you are the self alone, as soon as you remember to turn back toward the self, toward self-radiance, toward self-awareness, as soon as you remember, you are back, and you are back on the right path again. So don't make it complicated. Don't make it difficult. Just recognize when a tendency, a vasana, a doubt rises in the mind. And as soon as you notice it, remember, I am not that. I'm that which is aware. That which is aware is here now, in this moment. Full stop. No guilt, no doubt, no shame. Full stop. That which is aware is here now. Hari Om Tat Sat. Leave it at that. Keep it simple. Remember who you are every time you forget. Every time self-radiance is veiled. Remember, Neem Karoli Baba said, love, serve, remember. So tonight we emphasize remember. Everything else will come and go. That which remembers one day will stop, settle, and remain as that which is eternally aware. And you are that. I wish you all a good day, a day filled with love, peace, compassion for oneself, for others, for the whole world. That which is aware is here now. You are ever that. Hari Om. That's it.